the bad news is that Dave, right now Tsubaki is picking their ban. At the moment, the Pig Epic has unfortunately been banned as well on his side. But just looking at their teams, I think again Dave has a bit of a problem. He used Scunch, of course, for cage and melee damage, but with 3 melees on Tsubaki's side, that's basically a free ban if you think about it, right? Because I don't think Dave really is considering even picking up Scunch here at all.
Yeah, it's so dangerous into those 3 mentals, but choosing to be safe with Tsubaki's ban there, banning the Gialis, and Dave banning the pig, so not trying to deal with the pig for this game. Doesn't like the bamboozles apparently, but Mashuk, we've seen him pick pretty much Mashuk the start of every game that I've seen so far. So Mashuk being, the dominant force for Tsubaki, and I'm excited to see how Dave will decide to try to answer. We're getting a little bit of a feel of the playstyle. It is, perfect jab, physical damage, perfect jab, physical damage, a little bit of that, a little bit of attrition battle here and there. It's pulling out the victories for Tsubaki-chan. So let's see how Dave, these players are on the same team, right? So they obviously scrim all the time. They probably most likely talk about their TV spread to each other, so they know what each other are working with. So I'm wondering, with that information, what's gonna go down?
Absolutely. This is actually quite a smart opening from Dave. He's not afraid to use a Scunch, of course, understanding that even if Tsubaki opens with a mental attempt with a 2-vine here, Crystal Poom Gatling will punish. And yes, Adorables will survive at 1%, but that does not mean that the Scunch can't simply perfect jab the Adoro. And Tsubaki understands that and goes for his classic opening, which is Mashuk and Massion. We've seen this combo work for Tsubaki so well in the previous games. Just perfect jab into Embers and the perfect jab into Major Slash just almost kills a Tem downright. So again, has to be careful there.
Definitely. And going through and banning for the final ban for Tsubaki, gonna get rid of the bird and getting rid of the mix. Dave doesn't want to deal with the mix, but picking up the rise there, not too bad. So maybe to treat a couple burns onto the anaerobic or the Mashuk, but of course for the 2-vine, if it is picked down the road, we'll see who Tsubaki wants. He picks up the bird, anaerobic, and Adorables. It was quite the Temtem in the semifinals, so we'll see if it displays its power here in our finals. We will see though, one thing we didn't see, I believe, in the other games we saw Tsubaki-chan compete in, I don't think the pig was picked against Tsubaki, so maybe some bamboozle action on the side for Dave might be putting it, not in his favor, but it might make things a little bit more complicated.
He picks up Adorables as well, which is interesting because that means that Tsubaki might feel an obligation to pick up Kinu. Of course, he can just pick up 2-vine instead, but yeah, as I mentioned, feels that Psycho Collaborator will be efficient.
Yeah, we'll see if we get off, but guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It is time. The final game, of course, this is best of 3, but Dave Goblino, week 3 champ versus Tsubaki-chan, week 4 champ, so 2 champions. This is the battle of the champions here for game 1 finals. Hype in the chat, can't wait. Thank you so much. I'm hype. I hope you are too, Blue. We're getting started.
Yeah. Let's get this underway. A Scunch 2-vine versus Boxroom Mastion. Tsubaki versus Dave. Yeah. Let us get this going.
So let's see how they want to start off. We got the Scunch. So Scunch is pretty similar to Mashuk. I think they're both having the perfect jab in their kit. I think that's one thing they have similarities in there. However, the Massion does have the pressure against the 2-vine, but of course the 2-vine has a little bit of the pressure against the Mashuk, so both players got to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Ooh, actually goes straight for the uppercut instead of perfect jabbing the opening. Look at that. Dave has the same idea with his opening, and we might see where Tsubaki gets his ideas from. And look at that trade. So brutal already.
So brutal. However, so if we look back who attacked first, the uppercut went first, right? So Mashuk is most likely gonna get an attack first, but I don't think is the uppercut is not actually is not on a cooldown because he did it first turn. So another uppercut most likely will be headed to Vine's direction. However, if it doesn't, the Mastion is pretty much good as dead with another one of those attacks. But you have to be careful. You don't want to trade the 2 Vine this early. I mean, sometimes you do if you're trying to be super aggressive, but it has to be worthwhile if you were taking out the Mastion. We'll see though. But yeah, already both players being super aggressive, no switching out. I think the 2 Vine is feeling a little bit more of the pressure though from that uppercut. I think it will kill. I didn't get, you know, things happen a little fast. I didn't get to see how much damage, if it was around 21%, if it's enough to kill. But it seemed like it. I think it did seem like it. Uppercut one more time. We said it did outspeed the 2 Vines, so uppercut will go first. So Dave Goblino taking the risk there, taking a little bit of the risk, but Haido Uchi gonna be getting the better, so a little bit 1-for-1 trade, if you will.
What a solid back and forth here from Dave and Tsubaki, deciding, you know what, you can take my 2 Vine, I'll take your Mastion. Now neither player has access to that sort of brutal opening, right, that we usually see all the time. They sort of run away with it, where they perfect jab and then attack, perfect jab and then attack. Now neither player can really do that, and we'll see basically an entirely new ball game from both players. And immediately Kiinu to buff up the Mashuk and Pig to buff up the Scunch.
Yeah, definitely. So Scunch is still here, so Kiinu can actually stay on the board here if he wants to pressure the Scunch. However, he might not be choosing to keep the Kiinu. However, it's not pressured by neither of the Tems on Dave's side, so I wouldn't be surprised if it stayed in there. I do think we're gonna see a couple more perfect jabs perhaps. I don't think there's a better switch right now with all that stamina on the Mashuk. So actually, are we gonna see our first cage here for the finals? We've been seeing it all in the top 8 cut. I mean, keeping the Scunch here with the Kiinu isn't the worst. It is neutral.
I mean, yeah. Actually, Scunch takes ×4 damage from Kiinu here. Neutral takes double damage from mental, so
and
does
then
melee.
Huh? Okay,
yeah.
So it's something like the whole Mudred effect. So actually, that's the best line of play that I'm seeing right now. Something like a cage and then a beta burst onto the Scunch. Of course, the Pig might be faster, get the bamboozle off.
I mean, I might just be crazy, but Tsubaki might not actually have cage. I mean, maybe his cage is on Mastion. That could be a possibility. Maybe that's why Dave focused it down so hard, willing to trade that, because now Tsubaki can't cage and force it.
Ooh, you think so, Blue? You think so? I can't remember if it was from the Mashuk. We did see it from the Mastion, but no cage here. Scunch is coming out. Rise is gonna come in.
And yeah, look at that. Scunch is let free and Rise gets swapped in, which is, again, a worse matchup. So Tsubaki may not, in fact, have cage on the Mashuk.
So we've seen uppercut, we've seen perfect jab. I think we've seen Euroso as well. We haven't seen one of them. So perfect, or sorry, Beta Bird's gonna come through. Gonna not be doing too much to the raise. But yeah, the little Wimbers here and there should be doing a good amount. I mean, the Kiinu buff keeping it a little safer than it normally would. But Kiinu still being around, you know, you got something like Stone Wall or something like Revitalize, but Kiinu gonna be coming out.
Yeah, look at that. Adorable's gonna eat anything coming its way, but the Mashuk will do that for it. Ember's just fine. Adorables. Now, this is a bit scary, because now at this point, I keep jinxing it. It might not happen, because I'll say it. He could swap in Kiinu to Psycho Collaborator, and it would instantly kill the Rise here.
Yeah, I could totally see. I mean, it's such a strong attack. You think even like a special defense Rise would just get one shot all the way at 70 health?
It would be 170 times an extra 0.25% times all the special attack Adorables has. Probably not, but it will it will do a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I
we'll have
believe
to
you.
see it.
I want to see it. We haven't seen the animation. I'm all for it. However, I don't think the Mashuk. Okay, here we go. Here we go, Blue. We get the Kina. You called it right on the money. Let's see what's going down. We got the Whimbers on the Doro, 2 times effective. But Psychic Collaborator with the mental synergy, Blue. Oh, on the pig, though.
Yeah, but look at that beautiful
Oh,
animation. Oh, so good.
Yeah, and actually so well calculated because taking it in the perfect range of just one more poison tick so the pig won't get another attack off. There we go. No fainted curse for anyone. The pig is down for the count.
And looking at how little damage the Rise is doing, I wouldn't be surprised if he just left the Adorables in, turbo choreographed it, and moved on. I mean, perhaps Kinu might die here, so maybe not. But you just saw how much damage it did. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he's keeping the Kinu in.
I think we're going to see it revitalized. That's what I was about to say. We're going to get it revitalized from the Adoraboros. But Toxicking onto the Kinu should be doing a good amount, taking him down that 50% after the 2 ticks of poison, and we get the relax. But Dave had the energy drink. Remember, Lodi made the mistake trying to hypnosis the Rise. It did have the energy drink.
Yeah, but Tsubaki has double mental, relax. They're immune, so this Calibus can't help the Rise. So and Rise doesn't deal enough damage to kill Adorables. We've seen that, and it is in fact slower than Psychic Collaborators. So again, Tsubaki has a free hit here if he
free
wants
psychic.
it.
We saw it once for the first time in the finals, and we're likely to see it one more time here.
Oh my word! Oh, this is crazy. Tsubaki, surely not. Surely not gonna.
And I mean, he has no switches. I mean, Dave can't switch out because if he switches out, it's into the Scunch and into these the double mental. There's no way. You got to keep these temps. So I think Tsubaki understands it. Psychic Collaborator one more time. Where's it going? It's going to raise this time. Let's see if you were right, Blue. 70%. Where is it at? All the way down to 24. Huge damage. And we get the burn. It will not overexert. I think it was right under overexerting, but the beta burst onto the Rise. I think he was trying to take it down. Gonna be just living by 4.6%.
Oh.
But guess what's online one more time for the Kinu is revitalized, so he's probably gonna try to heat it up. But of course, you got the Toxicking to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I don't think Tsubaki will be greedy here. He could just swap out the Kinu for Mashuk or a Volarend, and then just keep Adorables here if he wanted to, and then switch in the Kinu. Again, this Adorable seems to be fast enough to get it off, so I see no issues with that. In fact, still beta burst access on the Adoro. It's so brutal how much that combo is actually working. It's insane.
Yeah, pulling off twice now on Dave here in the finals. So what a way to display Adorable's power. I mean, we saw it when it failed, right? When the Kinu got sniped right before. We did see, you know, it's like high risk, high reward for sure. But the reward is super sweet when you do pull it off. But we'll see. I'm curious to see if he's going to double swap. You know, Mashuk and the Volarend haven't seen, you know, the Volarend hasn't seen any play right now. So wouldn't be the worst to switch out, save the mentals a little later when you got to deal with Scunch, but you want to kill the Rise, I think so here.
Yeah, I just want to point out to everybody, right? Valash needs to Madness buff to one-shot something, so does Gaialis, and so does a lot of things. But Adorables is the only one who almost one-shot something with literally nothing. He just needs another mental Tem, and suddenly you have a monster on your team, and it's just insane how strong that is. Imagine if Tentel had Psychic Collaborator.
Yeah, he would probably see a lot more play. But yeah, I just as I thought. So we get a double switch because those two Temps still have a decent matchup. And Blue, speaking to your point, isn't it the hardest hitting attack in Temtem right now?
Yes, it does 100. Yeah, it does 170 damage. There's literally nothing else in the game that does that. I mean, until perhaps new moves are released, that is going to be the hardest hitting thing in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually the Raise doesn't get punished there, but still stayed in. But Hypokinetic gonna hit the Calibus, taking him pretty good damage. And you're so onto the Raise, so that simple attack Gonna be enough, but now we got the Skunch, so the Skunch is out here, and we get a Water Blade.
This is probably the best matchup for Skunch here. Both mental Tems are in the back pocket and are a bit afraid of dealing with the Octopus, so we'll stay in the back.
Other guy, I think he's just trying to focus down the Calibus where you got a good matchup against, but the Urso one more time with the Toxic Synergy, 4 ticks of poison, so 50% essentially out of the door for Skunch. And Toxic Ink to these 2 Toxic Tems are not going to be doing a whole lot. Dave is feeling the pressure so far. Ninja Jutsu, is it going to be enough? It did perfect jab. Actually, it did nothing. Wait a minute. There you go. Hyperkinetic will close it out. Does it overexert? It does overexert.
I'm not gonna lie, Tsubaki could, for the memes, Psychic Collab one more time. It will kill Skunch no matter what. There's actually nothing Skunch can do here.
Everyone be crazy, but you know, a simple beta burst, if we are talking about 4x damage, will definitely be enough.
Exactly. Oh my god, he's actually gonna do it.
No, he's just switching the Vulnerant because it's overexerted. I don't think he's gonna double switch here.
Oh,
he's gonna do it. No,
oh
he's
my
not
god,
gonna
he's
do
actually
it.
gonna do it. No way. This is bad.
I mean, if you're gonna end it, you gotta end it in style. That's what Tsubaki-chan wants to do. So here we go.
I mean, if you've done it twice, you gotta have the hat trick in here. So he's actually going to do it. He's gonna give us just fan service one more time.
Yeah,
another psychic collaborator.
Do it, Shala buff. We want to see it. Let's get it. And yeah, the Skunches, you know, 1 beta burst would be enough, but if you're gonna close it out, you know, usually Dave would concede, but I think even Dave wants to see the psychic collaboration one more time.
I mean, it's better. I mean, we'll see the full animation rather than the non-synergized version, which is the big bubble on the screen. Tries his best, gets close to denying us the satisfaction, but will not happen.
And
it will
for
be
the
Omega
memes, for the memes,
yeah.
Kaboom!
Oh, what an
4x
ability.
damage. There we go. That was actually, you know, the first time we get to see psychic collaboration, but man, did it just do so much damage. Literally, I mean, it just is so much work. And yeah, guys, Adoraboros is not playing around. Of course, I think there was a few amount of people that came prepared to battle an Adoraboros. So, you know, Tsubaki catching a lot of people off guard. You know, Tsubaki-chan is never running the same team more than once. So always switching up his style, switching up his game plan, and doing a really good job at that.
Exactly. And again, Adorables, obviously we don't see it everywhere, and the biggest reason for that is a lot of Crystal Tem obliterate Adorables, but you can't sleep on it. It is one of the only Tems with an ability that doesn't need a setup. Imagine if Adorables could madness itself. Like, nothing would survive. Literally nothing. Even if you took half damage from Psychic Collab, it'd still do quite a considerable amount of damage, and that is why it's so strong. I mean, we saw it twice there. It almost killed 2 Tems.
Three times.
yeah, we saw it 3 times, but twice in that game, we saw it almost kill 2 Tems without any doubles or anything. It was just flat damage from
flat
shot
base damage indeed. But these guys at each other really quick. I swear they might be next door neighbors or something. They just talk to each other saying, hey, I'm mad at you. You know, they're not even talking in the Discord, but of course they're really good friends. They're teammates at that. Yala's knocked out for Dave, and the Mashuk. This is the first time we see the Mashuk getting taken down for Tsubaki. So we'll see how Tsubaki chooses to adapt here.
Yes. Dave denies any of those shenanigans that Tsubaki did, which was, of course, opening with a Mastion Mashuk and just punishing the opening, because you can't really swap out if you heat up or anything like that. You get doubled up anyway, because Mashuk and Mastion just do so much chip damage over time. Obviously, Dave realizing that rather than dealing with the late game, why don't I just deal with the open? Of course, that puts a lot of room for error on the side of Tsubaki-chan. We'll still have to deal with the Skunch 2 Vine opening as well.
Definitely. So we'll see. I'm curious. This is the first game we've seen it without the Mashuk, so I really want to see. So banning the Mashuk in the mix, okay. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a ban on Doro, considering how much work it is. But I guess just ban the other mental that will give him the synergy there. And also, you know, do a lot of damage by himself without the synergy. So the mix is not a bad pick there.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real, right? I mean, it's cool and all. It's like, oh my god, it's an explosion! But, like, it's not actually the problem. Adorables isn't really the issue, right? It's how you set it up. And if you let it set up like that, obviously Adorables is going to look like a monster. But if Tsubaki-chan doesn't get there, if Kinu dies, or if there's just not a right time to sneak in Adorables in the middle of the game, then suddenly Adorables is just dead weight. And I think Dave, understanding that the good reason why Tsubaki managed to do that was because the opening worked so well. Two-Vine died instantly, which is the biggest reason why you can't run Adorables like that. So again, now Tsubaki has to juggle it around a little bit. I doubt he wants. Oh my god, he's doing it.
He's doing it. He knows no other way. He knows only for the spice. But here we go. Game 2. Is Dave trying to make things interesting, trying to go to the game 3 here in our finals, or is Tsubaki-chan gonna just have a commanding hold on the championship for week 6 and just say 2 games is enough? Just like that, but we're gonna find out. So a little different mix-up. We had the same. For Dave is the same, right? Two-Vine Scunch. He started with this last time. But Tsubaki-chan with Mastion and the pig now. But like you said, Blue, not trying to get one-shot the Two-Vine anymore. So keeping it safe. Switches out to the Rise.
Starting to set up on the pig epic there. But yeah, assuming the Two-Vine would stay in, doesn't happen. I mean, you can see how much damage Mastion does just by attacking. But of course, without his trusty partner, it's very hard as a Mastion to punish. Without, of course, again, the pairing with the Mashuk. So Tsubaki-chan's opening is not as efficient as Dave's at this point.
So Scunch will be retreating. We get the Calabash trying to pressure down the Mastion, or, you know, take decent, or try to absorb some damage, but the Mastion gonna be replaced by the Volrun. So we might see a turbo play. We might see the turbo, and here it is. Try to set up for the future. +2 on each Tem for Tsubaki-chan. And we get Embers on the pig with the defense down, so it's gonna be doing a good amount. And there's actually +1 speed on the pig. I misspoke because I forgot the Demoralize did connect with the pig. But we get the Kinu.
Alright, Tsubaki-chan, I mean, this is not the first time we've seen him put his all his buffs on the Volrun. Of course, this is as classic as Tsubaki gets. Yes, he has Adorables, but he doesn't rely on it. And that is what makes him so good at this game. Is he doesn't focus on one strategy. And look at that, hyper kinetic will go out.
Yeah, Hypo planned to go to the Calabash, but switched to the pig. Dave anticipating that and actually connecting with the snare there. So if it was running the sweatband on the Volrun, it's not gonna be there anymore. I'm not too sure because I think the mix had the sweatband for Tsubaki-chan. So I'm not too sure what the Volrun's running here, but either way. But yeah, the Two-Vine staring the Kinu right in the face to see if he decides. I mean, what are the other options? He could switch into an Adora, which also, you know, basically gets 90% damage done to him. And the Mastion. The Mastion eats something like the Crystal Plume. Unless, maybe he tries to chip away a little bit at the Anaerobic Bird. But we get the Turbo set up, so +2 for the pig, +2 for the Two-Vine. And another turbo. Is this +4 on the bird already?
Yes, it is. The Kinu is now +2. The bird is at +4. Humiliating slap again, just reducing the defense quite a bit more. Crystal Plume Gatling will do a lot of damage. Again, Dave is not concerned about this raising of special defense. He is more concerned about reducing the defense of this Volrun, because of course, as long as his defense is down, if you look at Dave Goblino's team. Obviously, Scunch will probably pummel this Volrun to death, as Scunch is fine against that. Of course, the only other downside is that he has to deal with a Adorabos.
Exactly.
But right now,
exactly.
it's just currently favoring a little bit the side of Dave here.
Yeah, definitely a much slower pace, slower, slow and safe game compared to game one. I feel like, it was off to the races there in that game one. It was crazy how fast these Temtems went down. But yeah, a little bit slower, a little bit more, I mean, not to say less calculated, but, more safe, more safe. So Bamboozle on the 2-Vine. And Hypnosis, where's it going? Oh, the pig, obviously, because it's connecting. But left the Kinu in there.
Yeah, I believe that Sleep was trying to prevent Bamboozle, but unfortunately for Tsubaki, Bamboozle did in fact apply before Hypnosis. Probably assumed that the pig would be slower than the Kinu, but both of them have the same amount of speed.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, didn't work out as intended.
Exactly, he did assume, but this pig, a lot of people are running max speed on the pig. I wouldn't surprise if that was the case here. But yeah, that would have been the ideal play. It would have actually done, would have worked out its way, but I don't think the Kinu's staying in here, so Kinu gonna be switched out. Mastion most likely gonna come out. And what did the Volerin do? Did it decide to rest? I didn't see an attack from Tsubaki-chan's Volerin.
Oh no, it hit them.
Oh, it hit the Bamboozle. Okay, cleaned up the Bamboozle. Yep. So 2-Vine out of stamina, so we'll see what his backline has. Maybe he's thinking about switching into Raise one more time. Perhaps the Calibus. I don't think the Scunch. I mean, yeah, the Scunch. I don't know.
Scunch wouldn't be too bad, but with the Mastion here. Oh no, the cage.
The cage, the infamous cage. 2-Vine with no stamina left. I mean, he has one thing going for it. The trait's keeping his attack still there. It would be -2 attack without Determine. So, I mean, that has something going for him. However, he's a sitting duck. Mastion's ready to tear him apart. I think 2 good fire attacks or potentially a double up. Does the Meteor Storm's online? I think maybe a Meteor Storm and a Noxious Bomb. But the pig is still there with the Bamboozles, right?
Yeah, at this point. The Mastion, surely, I mean, Dave probably has seen Tsubaki use Cage and Mastion. Yes, Mashuk is nice and all, but the Mastion Mashuk combo, the reason why it's so good is because if Tsubaki thinks you're gonna switch out, he cages and then punches you and continues pummeling you. Obviously,
Yeah.
Mastion now the Mastion punishing the 2-Vine here for overexerting is an issue. Now, if anything, he could try and kill Mastion. He did a lot of damage with not Crystal Pool, but Feather Gatling. So perhaps a Tornado Feather Gat will kill Mastion, but that's a small consolation prize considering that he's gonna eat another hit.
Eats the Hyperkinetic, but Pig Bamboozle, where is it going? Is it going to the 2-Vine? So did he Embers the pig or is he breaking the Bamboozle? He chooses to break the Bamboozle there. Of course, the 2-Vine decides to rest. We can't see it, but it definitely has some stamina now.
Cage is available again, so.
You think Tsubaki-chan's gonna do it?
I mean, the Mastion, that basically tells you, right, that the Mastion will get more opportunities to do it. Obviously, the 2-Vine forced to rest means that Dave didn't even get a chance to do anything about it. I mean, Cage could be like a relax. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah, we will have to see. I mean, Mastion has a stamina for 1 cage and then another attack to follow up on that. I think Pig Epic is just running low. And I mean, he's going to catch 1 Bamboozle and we'll have to overexert for another one the following turn. But yeah, very, very close game. Still all competitors with all the Tems, but actually choosing to double up and be offensive. So Windburst and Feather Gatling gonna get the better of Mastion with the extra speed they had there.
Absolutely. Again, Dave basically expecting a cage, just says, nah, I'll just kill you. regardless of what you decide to do to me. In fact, Mastion, unfortunately, slower, even with Embers, apparently, against the 2-Vine and the Pig. Will not get anything done now. Tsubaki in the back foot.
Yeah, definitely. So 110 finally going down on the side Tsubaki. So playing definitely a different game. Maybe the Mashuk was the key piece that Dave needed to take away from Tsubaki-chan. But of course, Tsubaki not only relying on 110. I know he's a well-rounded player. We'll see what he decides to do. I think, let me see again. So yeah, +4 speed on the anaerobic bird for Tsubaki. So pretty much the fastest Tem out. But pretty much been used to clear away bamboozles and just toxic plumes. So the pig, actually, how come the pig? Oh, it didn't have the crystal synergy. I apologize. So I think that's the actual stamina on 2-Vine now. So we know he's pretty much switching out here. Thinking carefully, they don't want to make any mistakes. Dave, for sure, if he loses his match, it will be it for him in this finals run. These players are playing for a total prize pool of 300,000 Pansuns, but more importantly, you get to be crowned the weekly 6 champion. You get the glory, you get the Hall of Fame, and you get the bragging rights, so not too bad. So Skunch is going to be replacing the pig. We get a double switch for Dave.
Moozle just applying on this stuff. Again, Tsubaki on the back foot isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yes, you have a dead Tem, but of course you still have that tanky and a Boulderman special attack won't do much. Obviously the downsides are that 2-Vine and Scunch don't really do special attack. But that's why you have the Kinu and the Adoraboros in the back. Again, the only issue is killing the 2-Vine, but now I don't really see that happening for the side of Tsubaki. We'll have to see how he deals with that.
Yeah, hypo connecting hypnosis. I hope it's not going to the rise. It's going to the Scunch, so Scunch's not going to be getting a move off here. But King's Roar, that's one way to take care of the anaerobic, breaking the bamboozle at the same time. And hey, where'd the pig go? Oh, I thought it wasn't coming back.
I teleported away. Just
yeah,
escapes.
that would be a heck of a visual bug. I'm like, where's the pig? That was a longer cooldown there. But yeah, now the anaerobic is down 1 attack, so 50% down, not too bad. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a roar coming out for the next turn.
I mean, right now for Tsubaki-chan again, just perhaps doubling up, just do as much damage as possible to the side of Dave Goblino with this opening, and then perhaps Psychic Collab will one-shot 2-Vine. I mean, we haven't seen 2-Vine get shot with Psychic Collab yet, so maybe that's enough. But again, focusing all of his priority onto this anaerobic Boulderman, of course, will be his saving grace here. Unfortunately, Pig gonna eat that as well.
Eats it. Now, what is the pig? Okay, decides. Okay, so the Berg decides to rest, and then the pig turboed. So back up to +4 speed, or was that last game? I'm not sure. I know he got hit by the rise one time.
Yep. So the speed right now is 4 speed for the side of the Volerend, -2 special attack, +3 special defense, and -1 attack. So yeah. So at the moment, the Volerend's not gonna do much with Noxious Bomb. Obviously, there's nothing really that Dave's team is bothered with Noxious Bomb. It's just interesting. With the lack of Mastion now, Tsubaki doesn't have a front runner for damage, aside from, of course, the adorable Skido combo.
Definitely. So we'll get replaced for the pig. Gonna be eating that Hypo Connect strike down to the red. Did he choose to double up? I mean, it wouldn't have killed anyway. So bamboozle onto the pig. Where's the perfect jab going? Okay, into the aerobic, so minus some defense there.
Yeah, this is a bad scenario for Tsubaki. Remember, half of Dave's team does physical, so if just enough perfect jabs is traded into this this Volarend, one Haito will kill it.
Yeah, I totally believe that. I think that's the plan, to take care of this. And he does have all that physical, as we mentioned, the 2-Vine, the raise. We got some, I mean, you could throw a Toxic Ink in there, here and there. It won't get the ticks of damage, but it'll do a good amount of damage if his defense is low enough. But yeah, Tsubaki-chan not choosing to go with, or not switching out these Temps for a couple turns here, but finally we get a switch. So Pig Epic comes out and the Ouroboros hits the board for the first time. Did we get a double switch though? Okay, not double switching. Believe, okay, we get the Calibus here in replace. And it was actually Dave, so Dave Goblino with the double switch. It's gonna be Calibus on the right, or sorry, on the left, and Rays on the left. The right, rather.
Adorables on the field only means, well, doesn't only mean one thing, but Psychic Collaborator is now available. Of course, the speed down makes it a bit more problematic. We'll have to see if Tsubaki is able to Psychic Collab before any other shenanigans. I believe Rise barely survived it at full HP, so Rise is definitely dead here if he eats that. So again, we'll have to see. I mean, if Psychic Collab goes before Kinu dies, then you have a problem, because then Psychic Collab does nothing. I think that's what that's what Tsubaki's trying to figure out right now, because that speed down makes things all the more trickier.
Yeah, definitely. However, if Dave wants to anticipate something like that, maybe he switches the Rise with the Pig and have the Fainted Curse go off in Rise's place. But those are the decisions these players gotta make. If Dave anticipates the Kinu, maybe he'll throw a Toxic Ink into that slot as well. And his Kinu is low, so actually deciding to just stay with the Temps on the board. Embers hits the Ouroboros and Toxic Ink just in case the Kinu came out trying to punish it. So down it goes, but Beta Burst onto the Raise to see how much it does. Good amount, under 40% now.
It does some decent damage, but I mean, I'm sure Tsubaki's Ouroboros is built with a little bit of special attack, so just seeing the Beta Burst still do so little is scary, right? I mean, surely the Rise is built for tank, but it just shows you in comparison of what this Ouroboros can do if it does get to that point. But as you mentioned, Dave would have easily punished the Kinu, and this is the tricky part. How do you get in Kinu and also get Psychic Collaborator off at the same time? Because again, slowed down Ouroboros is not the play moment.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see what he decides. I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, he probably most likely does have invested special attack, but so does the Rise in terms of special defense more than likely. So kind of balancing things out. We'll see if the bird wants to stay in for this turn. So Toxic Plume. No. Alright, I mean, gets the poison off, so maybe something like another Beta Burst.
Yeah, yes, it will go through another Beta Burst. And that Rise was ready for anything that came into that Kinu spot, but unfortunately will get punished. But this Squid will catch the Ouroboros.
Yeah, and well calculated. So knowing, actually Dave might have got into the range whether he overexerted or not, but he did overexert, so it was actually a little bit easier there. So 2-Vine comes out, but hold up, why does the 2-Vine only have 6 stamina? That has to be a visual bug. I'm assuming he has a lot more than that. So
yes, yeah, I just refreshed the page and that's 100%. Its machine gun is loaded with crystal bullets, and this Ouroboros will have to be careful. Obviously, Dave should understand this, and most likely not. Try and kill this Ouroboros. Again, this Volarend right now is minus defense, so it will take 50% more damage from the 2-Vine's attacks.
Yeah, exactly. How the question here, though, that I believe Dave has to decide is where Tsubaki gonna switch in the Pig, because you don't want to Crystal Plume Gatling into that slot, because if you kill the pig, you kill yourself, right? So I feel like
Yes.
that's the biggest question. Where is he going to switch? Because obviously the Crystal Plume does a lot of damage to both of Tsubaki-chan's Tems right now. So where is the pig going to go? Blue, where's your money at?
I mean, Dave knows that Tsubaki knows, so he might attack the Voloran, in which Tsubaki knows that would happen, then the Pig Epic would go there. Again, if this, bottom line is, if Tuvan dies, we'll probably see a marathon of psychic collabs again, because there's actually nothing Dave can do aside from maybe Toxic Ink the Kinu, but then you just hold on to the Kinu, come back in with a Voloran, and then pop the Calibus, and again, it's just so dangerous.
Yeah, so dangerous. So you gotta make the right decision. A little bit of not luck, but you know, I mean, just right predicting, right? It's not luck. It's really trying to understand what is the likely, you know, the likely move that Tsubaki wants to make. I mean, both do a lot of damage to these Tems, so Tsubaki knows that. So let's see. I'm really curious what's going down. I think this time here is not for reserve time, so it's actually gonna be the Voloran switching into the pig. Let's see where the Crystal Plume is going towards.
Okay. Tsubaki is gambling
Into
on
the
the Pig Epic will be
Adoroboros,
focused.
so Adoroboros will be going down. So Dave choosing the right call and actually making the perfect prediction there. Dave getting the best interaction he could have possibly asked for, knocking out 2 Tems. Jesus.
Oh my. Tsubaki got completely outplayed there. Dave read his next move like an open book. Now, Voloran will have to deal with a Tuvine without any defensive TVs. I mean, in fact, another Crystal Plume Gatling is most likely coming to the Kinu, in which case you just swap in the Calibus for a Scunch, and then you do the dance of perfect jab into feather, perfect jab into feather. And Tsubaki-chan right now got read absolutely perfectly by Dave.
Yeah, really good play by Dave. I mean, it's a little bit, Tsubaki could have done the other play, but hypokinetic, gonna connect to the Tuvine. But I think we are gonna see another Crystal Plume. Oh, the Kinu goes off first, keeping it healthy, but it is out of stamina. But Crystal Plume, where are you going? Kinu's out of here. So 1 tanky bird versus the 4 remaining Tems for Tsubaki-chan.
Absolutely. And that is why it's so brutal. In fact, Tsubaki knows it, so Dave will take the second game. Again, Dave reading the turn prior like an open book, just understood, yeah, he's gonna try and bait me into killing the Pig Epic. Let me just get the most guaranteed kill here on the Adorables.
Yeah,
and
that
that's
was
exactly what
definitely,
happened.
I don't know if it was the game-winning decision, but pretty much, you know, nail in the coffin. If that, it was definitely the play. Pretty exactly how you said, Blue. Completely read him so well, or at least made the right call in that sense, understanding that the pig was going to be replaced by the Voloran, or sorry, the other way around. But really good play from both players. So yeah, we'll see if they decide. I mean, now it's Tsubaki-chan's turn to send the invite. But yeah, I knew that here in the finals, these players wanted to keep things interested. They weren't going down easy without a fight. We're going for a game 3. And Blue, let me pull up.
Has started.
I need to go to the bathroom. So I'll be right back. So let me get, you might have to take the lead here for just the picks and bans for a bit. But I'll be right back,
good.
Blue.
Alright, I got this. It's okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final game of the finals of the 6th tournament of Plus with the new Spectator Mode. Let us get hype in the chat! Again, Shook has been banned to the side of Tsubaki-chan's side as Dave, again, the amazing play in the last round, completely shattered Tsubaki-chan's chances at perhaps closing it out in a close 2-0. Again, Tsubaki-chan, we all know, has that Adorabos in the back pocket with the perfect psychic collaboration. And now it is all down to who gets the last laugh. Who has the bigger brain? Who has the 5-head play? As Dave loses that Tuvine, is offered that Gaialis. It says, bring it. Of course, Massion open for Tsubaki. The cage, gonna be unrelenting. Look at that opening. Dave switching it up here quite a bit. with a Gyalis Rise opening. Obviously, Tsubaki sticking to the roots.
And thank you so much, Blue. I heard your hype all the way from the kitchen. We're back, but thank you, Blue, for holding it down. I'm seeing in chat we got some WWE commentary. Thank you for the energy, Blue. But what did we miss?
So Dave unfortunately loses 2 Vine there. Tsubaki decides that that's the bigger threat and gives Dave the Gyalis. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, so let's see how it works out. I mean, Gyalis is actually the harder hitting physical attacker. However, it might be maybe easier to deal with in a sense for, I mean, it is half melee, right? So maybe some mental moves could do a lot if they're able to get off. So we get the mix, we get the Dorboros.
Yeah, and I mean, we do know that Dave is running a non-tank Gyalis. I mean, unfortunately, the meta has sort of shifted away from the tank Gyalis, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see how this will go about.
Definitely. But I did see that Dave decided to ban the Meshuggah. It seems like that was a really good call for game 2. So deciding to go again and actually pick up the key. So triple mental for Tsubaki-chan. So Blue, I'll try to max your energy. Game 3, here we go. Dave Goblino versus Tsubaki-chan. The winner is gonna be taking it all. Not literally. Second place also gets a good chunk of the prize, but basically gets all the bragging rights. You know, you always want to be that #1 placer. So let's see how things start off.
Yeah, Dave with the Gyalis opening. We will see if he gets punished for it. It's sort of a classic at this point that Crystal Tem, like Gyalis, get severely punished when trying to set up. This is why they've been falling out of favor, and we've seen more 2-Vine. In fact, Dave's not even going to take the chance.
Yeah, not taking a chance. You would usually assume a heat up, but you know, Crystal Plume and Embers would do so much. So trying to get eaten up is the Scunch. So Crystal Plume's still going to connect, but Embers connects on the 2-Vine. Going to be doing a good amount. And yeah, look at that, doubled into the Gyalis buck, but Scunch, I guess, is better than Gyalis taking the damage, as you do have 3 mental Tems. So I know Dave is trying to prioritize saving that Gyalis for those Tems, as it will clean sweep those Tems if he manages to get a heat up going.
Well, we did see that the Adorables could survive the mix could survive a Crystal Bite, so it's not all doom and gloom necessarily for the side of Tsubaki if this Gyalis does come back out with full HP. Again, with no heat up.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Blue. It was a non-heated up Gyalis, right?
Yes.
So if he misses opening there. I mean, it wasn't really an opening, but you know, turn 1 is ideally when you want to get it, but he probably would have got punished for it. But just like that, the mix is already in Puppet Master range. A Scunch going down to Meteor Swarm though. Ooh. 4%.
Yeah, it gets quite close. No fire synergy, so no burn is applied during Meteor Swarm, which is fortunate for the side of Dave. Now the Scunch, not necessarily the biggest hero in the world for Dave. I'm most certain that he might just perfect jab into the Massion, or at least Ninja Jutsu, as he does have access to that. So perhaps just trying to do as much damage as possible here, because I think the Scunch is just unfortunately stacked here, but
the cage holding him tight, so I'm assuming just a small side surge or something. But Ninja Jutsu, you're completely right, trying to understand that the cage was coming, you can't switch out. Try go on the offense, so energy manipulation definitely gonna be enough at 4 times. So already 1 Tem down for Dave Goblino.
Yeah, and Rise tried to escape and was caged in. So wasted a turn completely there.
Yeah, so maybe, you know, going on the offense for Scunch, and maybe just in case the cage wasn't there, trying to switch out with the raise. So yeah, wasted a turn. And actually, looking at Dave's team, there's nothing that hits both Tems at the same time. So the mix might be free for this entire game. Of course, you got to take down all of the Tems for Tsubaki, because yeah, you know, there's no Meteor Swarm, there's no Toxic Plume, There's no tsunami. So yeah, the mix might be just sitting fine here at 17.2% health.
The only saving grace is if Tsubaki-chan forgets where the snare is, right? Because Dave does have a snare on his team. The question is if it's on his roster right now. If he hits the snare with mix, he cannot infinitely crystal spikes. Unfortunately, with Sweatman still active on the mix, if it is on it, that means that this mix is here to stay pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. We'll find out. I mean, it has to stay in a turn here because of Cage, but energy manipulation hits the raise. Gonna try to exhaust it here if it gets out an attack. But Wimber's connecting to the Mastion, doing quite a bit. Embers again only could go into the Mastion. And Tsubaki understanding that, so not choosing to switch out, as it probably would have got dealt with more, or done more damage to one of the other Tems. Well, wait a minute. Oh yeah, he energy manipulation. I'm like, where was the crystal spike at?
Just, I mean, went on the Rise. You know, crystal spikes does half damage to Rise anyway, and with high special defense, Rise would have just eaten it. Of course, with energy manipulation, you can also forcibly exhaust Rise, because that Ember took like half of Rise's remaining stamina just from Embers. So you have to be a bit more cautious on Dave's side. I mean, that basically means if you fire Tornado and you're exhausted, I believe it makes you cost 50% more stamina. So instead of like, I believe 30 stamina cost, it'd be like a 45. You're basically killing yourself at that point.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see if he keeps an eye out for that. But let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like a crystal spike onto the pig, just trying to lower its health a little bit to make it easier for something like a Embers to tick away a little later. But we'll see, we'll see. They're trying to take their time. They're trying to think through the lines of play. We'll see what they got on the back. The Gialis is still full health, full stamina. It hasn't heated up, so I know he wants to carry against those 3 mental. That is literally what he has to go with. So, I mean, he's doing a good job. If you take care of Mastion, that's already one of the biggest threats that was going against the Gialis. So, already looking good for Dave so far in that perspective.
Yeah, right now, Tsubaki, again, we'll see what he decides to play with here, as Dave has a pig and a Rise.
Yeah, so I'm curious, I mean, is he going to double the Mastion one more time, or what can possibly replace? I know he doesn't want to switch to 2-line because you're going to get some fire damage onto the 2-line. Maybe it's time for Adoro. I mean, Adoro gets the wind burst damage. It's just not a good switch out. He might be choosing to go out with something like a Meteor Swarm, but it doesn't do too much to raise. So I see why they're taking their time. This is a tough position to be in for both players.
Yeah, it is the final game after all, and there we have it. Rise will be swapped out here for the Gialis.
Maybe predicting the Mastion was going to get switched out? Yeah, so perfect timing to get the Gialis online. When the Adoroboros is going to come out here. Wimber's connecting, so it is effective. Now the question is going to be... Actually, I don't think it's a question. I don't think we're going to get a heat up here. I don't think he's going to waste the time too. I think a Crystal Bite will be enough for the Adoroboros as long as the Wind Burst is connecting as well.
Absolutely. I mean, Gialis will definitely be punished. Crystal Spikes will absolutely punish Gialis here. The question is if Crystal Bite kills the Adorables. Of course, at full HP, Adorables 8-1. But I'm unsure. If Psychic Collaborator, I believe, is priority 2. If that is the case, Gialis will definitely get this off. I will have to check. Real quick. Is Psychic Collaborator faster? It is a 2 prio. So yes, High Touchi, Crystal Bite, Sharp Stabs, in fact, will be faster. And that is the big question for Tsubaki-chan. Does he want to take the risk here? Is Gialis seriously going to Crystal Bite, sacrifice a turn of heat up just to do it? I mean, that would be Dave's best play, and Tsubaki might know that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if he wants to maybe protect from the Crystal Spike a bit, maybe switch the pick with Kinu, buff up the Gyalis a bit, but you're also missing out on the potential damage. You know, I have a feeling maybe something like a Sharp Stab and a Windburst together on the Ouroboros would take it out. So you do lose a little bit of the offense pressure, but maybe he's doing what we're saying here. So Kinu will be coming out, wants to buff up, try to protect against the Crystal Spike a little bit. Crystal Spike onto the Gyalis. How much is it going to do? So pretty tanky the Gyalis is. Oh, and he is going to heat up. He wants to solidify the, you know, not the solidify the victory, but doing a good amount towards that. We'll see how much the Psychic is going to do though.
Oh boy, this is gonna decide if the Gyalis is living or dying, and it barely does anything. Gyalis is fine.
So tanky, but of course I think the really good play there was that last Kinu buff, so 50% less damage each way. I mean, that might have added up. I don't know if it will kill, but I think that was actually a fantastic play from Dave, understanding that Gyalis was gonna get doubled into there. But yeah, Dave actually pulling off the heat up, so for a fact, Sharp Stab probably one-shots the Ouroboros, and then maybe the Kinu wants to revitalize the Gyalis. Of course, I mean,
this might be
good.
I just wanted to say, perhaps a tank Gyalis just because it ate that so well. I'm surprised.
I think it definitely is. It is. So let's see if we predicted this. Are we gonna get a Haido Uchi? No, we're not. It's Sharp Stab onto it, but the Crystal Spike, is it going on the Kinu? No, it's going on the Gyalis, but I think we're gonna see a revitalize for the Kinu. And yes, we are. So back at decent health. However, Blue, I think the key thing is that the Gyalis is heated up. So for those remainder of those mental Tems, if he just wants to save that Gyalis for a little bit later turns, is looking pretty good. I don't think, you know, once you get rid of this Mastion, maybe the Kinu wants to beta burst and take the risk of the Crystal Spike coming in its direction. I'm not too sure. I mean, maybe we get a double switch from Dave. That might be the more ideal play.
No, the Kinu getting revitalized off is actually quite massive. Dave, it lets Gyalis survive another Crystal Spikes, but the question is if Embers is enough, because that burn. Oh well, actually no, Gyalis doesn't take the burn, so it'll be completely up to the damage output. But cages the Gyalis in this game instead.
So keeping everything in, Kinu wasn't affected. Crystal Spike, it won't kill. We didn't see it take that much, but where is it going? Crystal Spike definitely gonna take out Mastion, but does it overexert to do so? I think it had to. Oh, did it? Was it perfectly there? Okay, so it seemed like it was perfectly there. And the beta burst, is it gonna be enough? Ooh. So I mean, that's one way to take down the mix. If that actually would have been, I mean, it is mental, it is crystal, so it's actually not super strong against it.
I think Mastion was severely punished there. Gyalis is fine, can't get caged. Gyalis literally cannot get caged because it has resistance. You can only trap it for the round, so you stop its swap out, which didn't happen. In fact, lost Mastion because of that. And Kinu is immune to it because of Grease. Obviously, Tsubaki didn't know that. But that's so big. The cage was just basically all for naught there.
Yeah,
and now
wait a minute.
has to deal with Gyalis.
Is Grease an item? Is that an item you put?
Yes, so Grease is an item that prevents you from being trapped. And
oh, I see.
Dave,
yeah, so it wasn't used until now in this whole cage meta. So actually really good. So the Kinu with the Grease being a little bit too slippery. So yeah, actually a really good target for Grease. So the Kinu wants to come in and out to get those buffs going. So nice. Really good play for Dave there. Or sorry, really good decision for Dave to have that item on there. But I think, Blue, it's time for the Gyalis to come out. I know it would do, I mean, it has no stamina, so of course it's time for it to come out.
I believe it is, in fact, time to bail. I'm not sure if the two of them will stay. I mean, Kinu as well. I'm not sure if Kinu will stay. But the important matters is that... Ooh, actually, what? Gyalis stays in?
I think he was trying to get off of Revitalize to see if it's gonna be enough. Energy manipulation is gonna be enough. Dave was greedy,
maybe
maybe greedy, maybe not.
Oh no! He did try to revitalize. You're right. You're absolutely correct. But now Gaialis is dead. Long live Gaialis. Adorabos is free roam. Yes, Pig Epic exists. But this is so dangerous.
You know what I think it was? He wasn't taking into account the 3 Prio Tornado. I think that caught him off guard. Most 2-Vines aren't running it. But the 3 Prio, he thought the Kinu was going to outspeed the 2-Vine because the Kinu is faster than 2-Vine. However, the Tornado outsped Kinu there. So Kinu Revitalized went last. So, a little hiccup there for Gabe. That actually might cost him the match. There's no way he's taking down those mental Tems.
Oh no, Raid Boss down. In fact, Raid Boss down. It's just, now, I mean, we talked about the theory, right? 3 mental Tems versus Gaialis, easy win for Gaialis. But if Gaialis is dead, it's, it's Dave right now will have to play with Rise quite well here. Obviously, Rise still very efficient against 2-Vine, Mix, and Kinu, but it's just time for Adorable. Surely, actually swaps out the Kinu first.
We'll see. Is the Kinu staying in? So Beta Burst onto the Kinu, but Crystal Spike, where is it going? Actually, it has to make sure not to overexert, right? So Fire Tornado is going to be doing double damage to the Kinu, so not too bad. You know, and Dave is not completely out of this by any means. He still has healthy Temtems. He still got 3 healthy ones.
Exactly. Still has the Pig Epic. It's not like Pig Epic doesn't do damage. He can still obliterate an Adorables with wind bursts, enough tornadoes. Yes, special defense is high on Adorables, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it will survive a lot of 2x attacks for long. Of course, the only problem is 2-Vine. But that's what Rise is here for. So, again, just enough juggling and Dave can still bring this back. It's just a bit dangerous.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a lot easier with the Gaialis for sure. But yeah, a little bit of a misstep there, not taking into account the Tornado. I mean, you know, to be fair, Tsubaki did not show that Tornado until this moment right now. So he couldn't think about it. But Revitalize, keeping the mix in. Oh, Revitalize on itself. There we go, Kinu.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, again, there's nothing really that's threatening the mix, so why not keep the Kinu alive here? As look at how much stamina it takes to simply embers when you're energy manipulated.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
Yeah, and there's still one more turn, so another one like that will be overexerting the raise. But the pig is here. What can it do? I mean, a little wind burst perhaps alongside of embers should be enough to take down the Kinu, but
Adorabos has access to Psychic Collab, I believe. It had enough time. 2-Vine can be an easy swap in here because if Dave wants a Fire Tornado, Rise will kill itself. Well, not kill itself, but it'll definitely take a lot of damage. So again, just have to be extremely cautious with how you want to play this.
So Kinu leaving the board, 2-Vines in. So are this? I mean, maybe the Rise is switching out because he doesn't want to overexert. Yes, it is. So good prediction for Tsubaki-chan. Kinu's in though. So I believe the side surge is going on Kinu, right? Trying to do it to the Rise. Actually does more than I thought it would.
Yeah, Mental Tem take full damage from other Mental Tem, so unfortunately Kinu and the like aren't the best counters to themselves. Tsubaki-chan, obviously, again, this mix being invulnerable is probably the worst to deal with.
Yeah, we mentioned it at the start of this game. There's no technique that are doing double. If he had the anaerobic bird, you know, Toxic Plume would have cleaned up the mix a long time ago. But the mix has been here since turn 1, right, Blue? I think he started with the mix, if not since turn 2 or 3.
Yeah, I believe in fact he did open with mixed Bastion. So yes, this mix has literally never left. And look at how little damage he does at the moment, and forces an overexertion as well for the Kinu. It's just a bit rough in his position.
Definitely going down. So Kinu is getting taken out in the last 2 final Tems for Dave Goblino. Ever since he lost to Gaialis, has been a little bit of a downhill or uphill battle. So Pig and Raise his last 2 Tems. I mean, he has the type advantage versus the 2-Vine here. However, he does got Tsubaki has access to Adoraboros if he wants to switch out. Kinu will most likely die if it switches in, so we'll see what he does decide to do.
Adoraboros is in fact neutral speed right now. There's no way Rise can demoralize Enter. So at this point, you're basically banking on if Adoraboros is in fact faster than Rise. And on top of that, Adoraboros has a base of 110 special defense. So Rise Fire Tornado on top of Windburst, you're hoping that it does enough to kill it. And that is a bit of a large hope. That doesn't even get the chance because Tornado's coming out.
Tornado comes out. Let's see what the pig wants to do. So we got a Windburst, so just little by little he wants to do. And I think Embers is going to be enough. The 2-line is down. So one more attempt down for the side Tsubaki. Side Surge though comes out trying to take care of the Rays. Ooh. Adoraboros is finally here. Tsubaki gonna end things in fashion just like he did in our game 1.
Surely it would be fan service to see it now, but I think playing safe is the play. Windburst will not kill Adoraboros, that is for certain. But Crystal Spikes will kill the Rise here. There's nothing he can do. I mean, Tsubaki may... I mean, Psychic Collab is a good idea.
Oh, actually getting the Fire Tornado did. Wait a minute.
But yeah, against the high special defense, it just punishes attempts like that. Adoraboros has 110 base, so you can't pull tricks like that up your sleeve without getting punished, and we might actually see... Actually, no, never mind, sorry. It's still on hold. It can't actually use it right now, so this pig is gonna take a massive hit to the face while asleep.
Yeah, at least it's going down while it's sleeping. Of course, it's gonna be rudely waking up. But yeah, Crystal Spike followed alongside a Psychic Collaboration. Will it be enough, Blue? Is that gonna take 86% damage from the pig, or are we gonna get another attack in this next coming turn on turn 17?
Well, we haven't seen him hit the pig with Psychic Oh my god, he's doing it. Alright.
Psychic Collaborator, we all love to see it. Boom! Indeed.
It does have damage. Pig is really tanky, but he's gonna be greeted very well to a Crystal Stab. It's Crystal Spikes as well. Obviously, no Psychic Collab anymore. The fun is over, guys. We saw it. But now, Dave, there's nothing he can do. The Mix is still invulnerable. The Adorable's still alive, and the Mix in the back pocket. In fact, he could just use Mix as a sort of a wall.
And I was gonna say there could be a Bamboozle, so Inner Spirit won't connect, but the Crystal Spike surely will be enough. It's gonna overexert killing itself, but who cares? It would have died from Fainted Curse. But just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a new champion. He's not a new champion, he was a former champion, but a new champion for the week.